So, here we are again. Another TikToker time with Dustin. So, back when your reoccurrence happened in Fort McMurray on August the 5th of 2019, when you got your compensation rate and you knew that we could not afford to stay here, knowing that we had to go back to Newfoundland, Labrador, where there was absolutely no work at all, what was your thoughts on that?
They didn't really know what to think right at the given time, but like, why pull me out of somewhere where there's lots of opportunity to go back to work and put me somewhere where I know there is no work? It made no sense.
Do you feel that Kimberly Doyle should have had better conversations with you?
Sure, maybe not necessarily her, but WorkplaceNL as a whole should have had better conversations.
Was your goal at the time to just sit home and do nothing because of your injury?
No.
Because that is a common thought process when it comes to someone who's injured on the job.
Yeah, it's very common. It's common for a lot of people to want to get on some form of government system, but it ain't me.
Well, maybe we shouldn't say common for a lot of people, but like, there's
No, there's
do you think that there's more injured workers out there who have your thoughts on returning to work, but this system doesn't allow them that?
sure,
And why do you think that?
because if you're injured on the job, that means you were working. And in some cases, I'm sure there's people that they were working at a job that they actually enjoyed doing. And because of, whatever incident or accident that happened while they were working and they're not able to return to it, then yeah, it's a hard pill to swallow.
Do you think you would have been struggling so much over the last 5 years if WorkplaceNL had made better rehabilitation decisions for you or
No,
with you?
if they decided, okay, well, you're living there and did their due diligence and did some research into the job market here, I could have had far better, a far quicker recovery time, I believe, and they could have retrained me to go to work at something else here in a heartbeat. Whereas forcing me to move back to Newfoundland basically put me in I can't even say job market because there was no job market.
So you're basically saying it was a non-return to work status.
Basically,
What were your qualifications before you slipped in the engine room, like while working for the Canadian Coast Guard?
well, at that point, I was a fourth class power engineer for about 12 years, off and on. I also worked in the mining industry in Fort McMurray for about 3 years. So I had equipment operating experience, I had pipe fitters experience, I had leadership experience because the last job I had here with the company I was with when my reoccurrence happened, I was actually a lead hand for my foreman that I was working with. So, yeah, lots of qualifications
Well, yeah, at your time of reoccurrence.
at the time of my reoccurrence, yes. And
And
actually, at the time of my reoccurrence, I had gotten my blue book to get my steam fitter pipe fitter hours signed off. with the company I was with.
And you also had done certifications through the Operators and Engineers Union for Zoom Boom and Wheel Loader.
Yep.
So would have then there been opportunities for you to do heavy equipment operator?
Oh, 100%.
But was that ever brought up to you?
No.
So no retraining whatsoever.
No, there was no retraining ever discussed with me.
Dad?
And with the power engineering career that you had, I mean, you could have been making what, $250,000, $300,000 a year by now?
It's a possibility. Somewhere in that ballpark.
And if you had been retrained at that time, do you think that you would have been maybe back up to that in another career by now if Kimberly Doyle had not lied about a lot of things and forced you and all of us back to Newfoundland Labrador?
Sure.
Is there a possibility to make that amount of money in a career in Fort McMurray, like as a heavy equipment operator?
Sure it is. Well, once you become an operator, if you punch so much time, well then you can actually move into supervision positions. So, yeah, there's a very high possibility that I could have been back up to making what I could have been making.
So, when it comes to everything that WorkplaceNL has done, and I know that a lot of people gets on TikTok and comments and says like, oh, he slipped, and they're making fun of it and all those things, and acting like, you don't really want to work. Knowing that, how does that make you feel?
It's kind of, well, maddening, as they say, because I lost a lot more because of that injury, not just a career. So for anybody who thinks that, oh well, he just didn't want to work anymore, well, no, that ain't me. Never was me, never will be me. I do not want to sit home and collect. I earned my keep. And because of the injury, it's drastically changed the way I had to live. And it not only affects me, but it affects my kids and my family.
So, as I was getting at, if you had been left in Fort McMurray in 2019, do you feel that you would even be on compensation or be deserving of the compensation that you're still deserving if Kimberly Doyle had actually left you here?
No, because I'd have been back making what I would have been making in my power engineering career. That I know.
So for those of you who are actually going to listen to this part of the video, it is not fair for Kimberly Doyle and Melissa Burry to still be working at WorkplaceNL and to deny the compensation that Dustin Blake is owed, because at the end of the day, he would have been working at something right now that would have replaced all of that loss of earnings. Instead, they stole the opportunities from him, and they are also stealing his compensation daily. That is unfair. These women deserve to be held accountable immediately, and so does everyone else who chose silence all these years.